name is Tina Kavergich, and I am Northern Stamper. I'm really happy to have you here today with me, and we are going to be using some Memories and More card packs. Now, I know they are no longer available, but that's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make two cards. I'm going to show you with the Memories and More card pack that I was going to make, but then I'm also going to bring in some designer series paper from the new catalog. Where's the new catalog? Which is the May to August catalog, which is coming up. And they got some really, really nice designer series paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using the Moonlight and Flora designer series paper. I love this one. It is absolutely stunning. Look at the design of the ferns in that, and the colors are just fantastic. I just love these colors. They are fantastic, and I just love anything that is forest related, and these ferns are absolutely perfect. So what you could do is watch the video or grab some designer series paper that you have in your stash and craft along with me. So I'm going to be using this Moonlight and Flora paper. Plus, I'm going to also be making a card using my original design, which is with the Memories and More. And what we're going to be doing is I'm going to walk you through it, and we are going to have so much fun. Now, I did send out some packages for a card that I'm going to be making next week, and 5 people received that, and there's a couple of extra people I toss some in and send them out to, so hopefully you'll join along with me. So if you have any questions, you can comment below or email me at northernstamper@gmail.com. I am also going to be using, for stamping my sentiments, I have received the Every Little Kit stamp set or kit, and I'm actually making card alternatives with this right now. Now, these are the cards in the kit you can make, but what I like to do is make my own designs and create cards using the items in here. But what I'm going to be using is the sentiments from this stamp set, and I thought they are really nice. They stamp really nice, and I like some of the sayings in here, so I thought I'd use that for today's card. So if you have any questions, just let me know, northernstamper@gmail.com. So today's pack is the Memories and More. I'm going to be using this one here with all the butterflies. This one with a kind of a moot pattern on it. Like that, and I'm going to be using the butterflies. I'm going to be cutting these out, so maybe you could find something in your stash that is similar to this. Now I'm going to be making a card based on the size of the Memories and More card, not the regular 5.5 by 4 1/4. It's going to be a little bit larger. It's going to match the size of these cards, so I'm just giving you a heads up. So got those off to the side. You're also going to need a piece of cardstock. So I'm going to go through the items. There's a cardstock, and this is a 1 inch. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it here, and this is my other piece for my other card. It is slightly larger to accommodate the stamps and the sentiments that I want. So whatever you use for your sentiment, this is um, uh, the mat for your sentiment, and then you have white or whatever color you want on top. So you're going to have it matted all the way across. So you can see like that. I have it all the way across. So I'm just going to go through the items so that you can have them already. All right. So what we also are going to be starting with, okay, let's get it started. This is going to be the card base, and it is a 4 by 6. Remember I said about the Memories and More card size. This is a 4 by 6, so that's what I'm going to do everything based on the Memories and More card pack. So that's a 4 by 6 card stock, and like I said, I'm going to be putting these each down for one for the Memories and More card and one for the DSP with the ferns on it. So there's a 4 by 6. So this is the card base itself. So you can see that there. Okay. I also have a mat. Let's see, where's the mat? Where's the mat? Okay, so we have the mat, which is 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. I know that's kind of awful handwriting, but that's going to fit right on top. There we go, right on top, and it has a nice, whoops, we're out of focus. Oh, come on. Let's go in focus so you can see, look, butterflies. There we go. So it will have a nice mat all the way around. So this is for my second card. Again, a nice edge all the way around. So if you don't know what the numbers are, that's okay. Just take 4 by 6 and just go down 1/4. So there we go. There's a mat. I have another piece of cardstock. Let's get that out. This is 5 3/4 by 5. I got another piece on here. Now this is going to go this way on the card. So yes, they are going to be actually landscape, but just, oops, just to make sure we can get it in. Here we go. Again, look at the butterflies. And there we go. So 3 1/4 by 5. And what we need to do is have our designer series paper. So for the card base, there's this one, which we are going to have to cut down. And I will show you the numbers for that. Now this one is already cut and it fits on here. And I'm going to tell you the numbers, what they will be. So this is actually going to be landscape. So going sideways. Let's get this like that. Okay. And we're going to cut this piece down and I'm going to tell you what the numbers are. Okay, so let's do that actually since we get this. And I'm going to measure this again. And it is, oops, it would help if I had a ruler. And this is 5 1/2. So it's 5 1/2, 5 1/2 long by 3 1/2. So 5 1/2 by 3 1/2. So 5 1/2 by 3 1/2. Let's bring in our trimmer. 5 1/2. There we go. 5 1/2 by 3 1/2. Okay. There we go. And let's see if that fits. That fits perfect. What I'd like to do is get this all together. So there was my card base. There is my mat. There's my designer series paper, 3 1/2 by 5 1/2. There we go. And you can see it matted all the way around. This is going to look really nice. Okay, so we have that like there. Now I can't glue them down yet because I'm going to be doing a flap. And the flap is going to go across like this. Now you could take it all the way down to the edge or you can take it to the mat here. So what I'm going to do is lay it on here. Remember, it was 3 1/4. There we go, 3 1/4 by 5. But we need to score it so it goes around the mat. So let's double check. I'm going to double check 3 3/4. I'm just going to double check that. Okay, so I'm going to score this at, so there we go. So this is 5 inches long. Okay, so it's 5 inches long, top to bottom, 5 inches long by 3 1/4 across. Now I need to score it. Now the scoring is 3 3/4. So let's take that, score it at 3. Here's 3 3/4. Now remember, don't use the cutting blade. Make sure that's out of the way. Score it at 3 3/4. And let's double check to make sure that is it. Yes, it is. I'm going to do that for the second card. 3 3/4. Remember, don't use the cutting blade, just the scoring blade. Okay, so 3 3/4. So it goes around. And what I'm going to do, you can see it goes right up to the edge of the DSP. So let's get this in the right order. And I'm going to hinge it around on the back. So let's glue this flap down first before we go any further. That's going to be the easiest thing to do. So I'm going to flip this, and we're going to add some adhesive, and it really doesn't matter. You can put it in the center if you like. I'm going to off center it a little bit. So there's a little bit on this side. I'm going to place it off center. I'm going to do that for both of them. Come on, there we go. Off center a little bit. Okay, there we go. And so there we go. Now that I have this glued and hinged on the back, let's add it to the card base. This way I won't lose too many pieces. I don't know about you, I seem to put them down and they could literally be right in front of me and I would lose the pieces. I'm going to take this other one for the Memories of More that we're using. Again, just going to glue it to the piece of that is 4x6. So there's the 4x6. Okay. Gonna place it so it has an edge all the way around. Okay, so there's the hinge. It's kind of hidden now. There we go. There we go. Takes a little time to get in focus. So there's the two cards. Now what we can do is we can add our designer series paper. Now, as Connie says, hiding all the beautiful paper. I know it is a shame, but we're just going to tuck it in there. Okay, you can see there's an edge all the way around. I love this one, and what I tried to do is pull out the colors. Now this is the new color of yellow, and I tried to pull that out by using the color coordinating cardstock. So I'm going to pop that in there around the edge all the way around. Let's take the design Memories of More card pack and do the exact same for the other one. Oh yeah, the one with the fern is absolutely stunning. Wait till you see how we're going to finish this card. It is absolutely stunning. Are the butterflies going the right way? Yes, they are. We don't want our butterflies to go upside down. So this is kind of the inside of the card. We will be adding a little strip here so that we can write a sentiment that's kind of hidden under the little flap there. Okay. So let's close that up and you can see the front. So there's the front, and what we want to do is, like I tell you, I just literally put things down and I literally lose them. Okay, so there's the front of the flap. Let's work on the front of the flap a little bit, okay? So for the Memories and More one, I have this design here. And I wanted something very subtle because I didn't want to overwhelm it. And I can see it fits almost exactly in. It's a little longer, so let's cut it down. Now remember, it was 3 3/4. Let's try that first. Okay, I'm going to cut to 3 3/4. Let's double check. I prefer to double check. 3 3/4 is just a little bit too big. So, or you can go straight top to bottom, but I like to see a little edge around. So let's go, that was 3 3/4. Let's go down one more to 3 1/2. Some people like to go from top to bottom and not leave an edge all the way around. I like to leave an edge all the way around. So there we go. Now we can see the edge all the way around. So it was 3 1/2 tall. Okay, 3 1/2 tall. Let's double check by 3 inches wide. 3 inches wide, left to right by 3 inches tall. Now let's just double check with the designer series paper on this one. Did I cut it to the same? Yes, I did. 3 inches tall by 3 inches wide by 3 1/2 inches tall. There we go. And I wanted a subtle pattern to use. So let's glue those down. Actually, these keep flopping up on me. Let's make sure they're nice and flat. There, now you can see them. There we go. Let's add some adhesive. We want a nice subtle kind of pattern on there, not to overwhelm it. Add that one. This is the Memories and More one. Nice subtle pattern. I love to see edges all the way around. I'm just that kind of gal. I like to see the edges. All right. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to look for something that has an image in it. So this one has kind of butterflies in it. And what we could do is we are just going to cut them out. And I see this one in the corner. Even though he's lost a bit of a wing, I am still going to use him. I'm going to carefully cut him out. And you could do that with any designer series paper. Say it's a flower or butterfly or whatever. Now take a look what you got in your stash. Okay, I'm going to cut him out. Now there's a couple of butterflies left, and we can also cut them out and add them to the card. Now fussy cutting very quickly. Okay, and I'm going to place him, because the wing is kind of straight, I'll kind of place him on the edge here so it looks like he's part of that part. So this way you don't really notice that his wing is cut off. And you know what, we can get another one. Let's see, let's try this one here. I'm going to add a couple of extra in. Add them in, cutting them out. There we go. Now, when you're done with this and you have the Memories and More card pack with the butterflies, hold on to them because we can use them for next week, the other ones, right? Because there's a couple of more we can cut out. I want to cut off his antenna, and he'll never get to Mexico. There we go. Place him again. Because there's a line he was kind of cut off, we'll put him along the edge, just like that. But we also want to add a sentiment. And I want to do that for this one. Now, in the, what is this one called? The Floral? Moonlit Flora has this giant moth in it. And what I wanted to do is take him and cut him out. I thought, oh, that looks like a great one. He's the only giant moth in the paper. So I tried to save him for this piece. So let's kind of cut around, do the best we can. There's a couple of other little butterflies in that paper we can also use, little white ones there. But I think this big one will really be quite stunning on the card. And oops, when I cut, I don't want any sharp corners. I'm going to go back over by those antennae and cut that off. There we go. Careful, careful. Okay. Fussy cutting just takes a little bit of time. I don't want any sharp edges around, so that's a bit of a sharp corner. Round that off a bit. It's a little one on his antenna, a little sharp edge. I don't like the sharp edges. And we're just going to tidy him up a bit. Okay, there we go. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And I'm going to have him kind of flying like this. Just like that. Oh, we could have, maybe we'll put him a little bit more over. But we'll take a look. And so we're just going to leave them like this for now. And we're going to stamp a sentiment. Now I got a couple of pieces of white and a matte. Let's move these guys off and stamp on the white. There we go. Like I said, I'm going to be using one of these sentiments here. I really enjoy the little things. I really like that. I think that's really nice. So let's get that on there. Okay. And make sure it fits. It may not fit on this little one, but let's see what we can do. Okay, gonna stamp on here. And I'm just using basic black. Okay, just stamping on there like that. There we go. Enjoy the little things. That looks really nice. I love the font on that. I think that's going to be nice. And I'm not sure this is going to match. That's not going to fit on there. Let's see. How about this one? You are loved. Nope, that's not going to fit either. So I need to find, do I have something else? Everything is too far away from me on my desk. So I'll find one for this one here. Okay. So in the meantime, what I'm going to just do, because this is already the right size, nice mat. Now top and bottom, there's a nice mat on the top and bottom. Perfect. I'm going to mat that. There we go. Okay, now let's bring back in that card. There we go, a little bit like this. That's why I don't want to glue down the moth or the butterfly, so I can move him around. And let's actually get in the original card. There we go. I stamped, let's pretend I stamped that. And we got our other butterfly. I put this one on dimensionals. Now this one, if I added it in, does he fit? I guess he does. I'm going to tuck him in a little further, and I'm just going to add my butterfly onto that. So this one is on dimensionals, and the sentiment is on dimensionals too. I'm just going to tuck him in. Let's get this started. And oh, I really like this one with the new paper. Oh my goodness. Get some dimensionals on the sentiment. Now I could add a little bit of ribbon behind it, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Do I have any here? I'm just going to look in my ribbon case, just see what's on my desk. Oh, surprise, surprise. Did you know it was coming? I know Carol knew this was coming. The gold ribbon. Just going to add a little bit behind just to give it a little bit of oomph. I'm actually going to cut it in half to use on the top and the bottom. Split it a little bit like that, just to give it a little bit of a design behind it. Okay. Dimensionals, placing it down. Now you don't need to use ribbon, but you can always use whatever you like. It's totally up to you. Let's see what it looks like with the ribbon, and we'll see what it looks like without the ribbon. Okay, gonna add that on there, just so it goes back and forth. Oh my goodness, that looks actually kind of cool. So this is the one without the ribbon. There we go. And this is the one with the ribbon, just a little bit peeking out. Okay, and all I'm going to do is take this cutout, and I think I'm just going to pop him on. Now just be careful that he doesn't go beyond the card confines, like he's not hanging out like that. So let's kind of place him toward twisting him a little bit, try and get him in here around the words. Guess I could also go this way. I think I like him this way. And I think I'm going to pop him in, and he's just going to go just about as far as the card is going to allow me. Let's get some dimensionals on this guy. And we're going to add it on. I do like the Memories More card packs. Sadly, they are no longer going to be made, but any of these designs that I'm doing here, you can do with designer series paper. Oops. Oh my goodness. Crafting so much, I'm losing. I am getting all over the place. Okay, let's grab some embellishments. Now these are the new color embellishments. They're not new colors, but they're called Dewdrop embellishments, and I love these. So there's a clear, there's like the Peaceful Pines color, and this beautiful, beautiful blue. Oh my goodness. I think this is, what color is that? Doesn't say. It looks like seaside. No, it's no, little bit of Misty Moonlight, but it could be Secret Sea. Okay, so I'm going to use that. Just love these. Love these dewdrop embellishments. And I think they are, I love the green ones. I think they are fantastic. I'm going to add some on here. Let's see, should we put one over here? Right about there. Okay, let's put a couple of clear ones. So I don't think the blue would match. The green might match, but let's go with some clear ones. Okay, a couple of clear embellishments on here, just for design. There we go. We have that. There we go. We can add some Winkastella, and we still need to do the inside. A little bit of Winkastella on these guys. I need some glitter. And all I did was for the inside is actually take the same size, and I just added something on the inside, which is, here we go. I'm just going to take something like that. Actually, would this one match on here? No, that's too bright a yellow. Okay, so this orange would fit. So let's cut that down. I'm just going to use this one because this is an extra piece of Memories and More, and I'm just going to use this for the inside of the sentiment. Okay, let's double check the size, top and bottom. I need to cut it a little smaller. So it was 3 inches wide. Let's double check. Let's see. Does it fit now? There we go. A little bit. I'm going to take a little bit off the bottom. There we go. Kind of eyeballing it. There we go. I think I'll put that in there. And we can write a little sentiment inside. I like this because it's got the little lines on it. So I have this. I just picked up a scrap piece of cardstock Memories and More that was on my desk, and I just hid it underneath that little flap. I do love the new designer series paper, and here's the design with the Memories and More. As I said, it is the size of a Memories and More, so it's a little larger. Sometimes working with a large space or a small space, it does add a little bit more. Like, I just love it. This paper is absolutely stunning. Sadly, the Memories and More are no longer available, but that's okay. There are some great designer series papers that are there, and this is definitely one of them. I just love it. Like, let's look at the paper again. So, like, absolutely stunning. I think it's going to make some really gorgeous cards, and I love the color combination in this paper. What do you think about the color combination? I think they nailed it on here. Absolutely stunning. Looking forward to making more cards with this. And I think this moth looks absolutely perfect on there. What do you think? Tell me what you think in the comments below. If you have any questions, you can drop me an email at northernstamper@gmail.com. If there's anything you wish to order, please let me know. I will do my utmost best to make the most of your money, because we all need to hold on to our money. So let me know which one you like. I like, oh, they're both nice, but I have to say, I think I go with the moth one a little bit more. Oh, they're so nice. Anyways, it is time for tea. Let's go and have a tea and relax, and then come back and make some more cards. Don't forget to join me next time. If you would like to join in any card alternatives or card making sessions coming up, let me know. And don't forget to join me in September at Grand Bend for a crafting weekend, 3 days of amazing crafting. So take care, my lady friends, and we will see you next time.